So, good day everyone. I am Angel Garalo, taking Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management. And I will discuss about the introduction of Chapter 5, Final Income Taxation. So, we have the four pictures of final income taxation. The first one is the final tax. So, it is withheld at source by the income payer. Hence, the income received by the taxpayer is net of the final tax. Those whose sole income has been subjected to final withholding tax kagaya ng interest, prices, winnings, royalties, and dividends, as well as non-resident aliens not engaged in trade or business on their compensation income, at yung mga minimum wage earners as defined under the tax code. So, the final tax are withheld by the income payer or yung pinanggalingan ng income. Next one is tax withholding at source. So, tax withholding at source is required when payments of certain taxable income are made, whether paid to the individual or in corporation. So, income subject to tax withholding system is determined in accordance with the type of income and the classification of the recipient of that income. So, wini-withhold na ang tax at source pa lang. So, third one, territorial imposition. Countries enact territorial tax system, also known as source-based tax systems, through so-called participation exemption. This allows multinational businesses to exclude or deduct foreign earned income from their domestic tax base, ensuring that such profits are only taxed in the foreign country in which they were earned. So, ini-impose lang within the territory. And the fourth one is imposed on certain passive income and persons not engaged in businesses in the Philippines. So, ipinapataw lang ang final income taxation sa ilang passive income at mga taong hindi engaged or parte ng isang negosyo sa Pilipinas o loob ng bansa. So, the final withholding system. So, final withholding system imposes upon the person making income payments the responsibility to withhold the tax. Ang buwis na ibabawas sa pinagmulan or at source ay tinatawag na final tax. So, ang matatanggap ng receiver or nagbabayad ng buwis ay income net pagkatapos mabayaran ang tax na hindi na niya kailangan pang mag-file ng income tax return kasi bayad na siya at source. So, the final withholding system is inherently territorial. So, when we say inherently, in a way that exists as natural or basic part of something. And when we say territorial, it is restricted to the geographic area under a particular jurisdiction. So, naisasagawa o ina-apply lamang ito sa ilang passive income na nakuha o kinita mula sa source dito sa loob ng Pilipinas. So, tandaan na ang pagbubuwis ay teritorial at hindi maaaring magpataw ng obligasyon sa buwis, filing man or withholding sa mga hindi residenteng tao ng subdayuhang soberanya. Makatuwid, ang lahat ng mga item ng kita na kinita mula sa mga sources sa ibang bansa, passive or active man, that are subject to tax under the general scope of the regular income tax. So, ano nga ba ang active income? Ito ay tinutukoy o tumutukoy o ito ay tinukoy bilang sweldo na kinita mula sa mga serbisyong ibinibigay ayon sa isang napagkasundoang gawain within a specified time frame. Ang mga halimbawa ng active income ay mga sweldo, tip, bayad at allowance mula sa mga kumpanyang binibigyan mo ng serbisyo. So, ano naman ang passive income? So, ang passive income ay perang kinita mula sa mga aktibidad kung saan wala kang aktibo at direktang pakikilahok. In short, passive income describes the idea of making money work for you or yung pera mismo nagtatrabaho para sa'yo. So, paano ka naman kikita ng passive income? Ang isang karaniwang paraan ay sa pamamagitan ng pagkakataon ng aktibidad kung saan maaari mong gawing asset ang currency. So, what is ordinary income naman? So, ordinary income is any type of income earned by an organization or an individual that is taxable at ordinary rates. So, kabilang dito hindi naman siya totally limitado sa sahod, sweldo, tip, bonus, komisyon, renta, royalties, panandali ang kita sa mga kapital, hindi kwalipikadong dividendo at kita ng interes. So, meron din tayong importance of withholding tax system. So, it is considered as an effective tool in the collection of taxes for the following reasons. So, first one, it encourages voluntary compliance. Second one, it reduces cost of collection effort. Third one, it prevents delinquencies or a failure to pay an outstanding debt and revenue loss. And last one, it prevents dry spell in the fiscal conditions of the government by providing revenues throughout the taxable year. So, may mga parties nga na involved sa pagbabayad ng tax. So, we have the payee, the withholding agent or the payer, and the BIR. Si payee, siya yung kumikita ng passive income. Si payer naman, siya yung magre-remit kay BIR ng final tax ng passive income ni payee. While si BIR, siya ang tatanggap ng tax for the passive income ni payee. So, let's proceed for the rationale of the final income taxation. Ang final withholding tax ay pabor at ginawa para sa mga taxpayer at gobyerno para sa mas madaling trabaho at hindi maging mas hassle at nalilesen nito ang amount of work or time na required para may sagawan trabaho. Inaalis nito ang obligasyon ng isang taxpayer na mag-file ng income tax return at pabor ito sa kanila if they are limited in distance as well as time at cost para mag-comply. Pinaka-convenient din ito at epektibong sistema para sa gobyerno sa pag-collect ng tax sapagkat nababawasan nito ang napakalaking tsansa or high risk of non-compliance o hindi pagsunod ng mga taxpayer at dagdag na rin ng tax evasion or illegal na pag-avoid ng pagbabayad ng kanilang tax liability, which is a criminal charge that subjects to penalties and fines. So, under the NIRC, final income tax is imposed on certain passive income and upon non-resident persons not engaged in business in the Philippines. So, the first one is the passive income. So, items of passive income are earned with very minimal involvement from the taxpayer and are generally irregular in timing and amount. Unlike items of active income, they are not usually specifically monitored by taxpayers. When not recorded by the taxpayer, their existence can be difficult to determine. Thus, the final withholding at source is the most favored scheme in taxing items of passive income. Dahil nga ang passive income, wala tayong masyadong gagawin. Kahit matulog tayo maghapon, makapag-generate pa rin tayo ng income. Hindi rin tayo sigurado kung kailan at magkano. So, yung paraan ng pagtatax dito is kakaiba din. Yung scheme of taxation niya ay na-develop ang final withholding tax at source. So, doon pa lang sa moment ng pagkita mo ng passive income ay nagkakaroon na agad ng tax and the tax is final. And automatically, the moment na ibigay sa'yo yung income mo, is bayad na yung tax mo for that passive income. Sa active income naman, kailangan mo munang kitain bago ka magbayad ng tax. Kung i-relate nga sa active income, hindi mo na kailangang isama pa sa ibang income yung passive income mo sa filing ng income tax return. So, nabanggit din naman natin kung si passive income at si active income. So, they are considered as the two main types of income. So, when we say passive income nga, it includes money earned from interest, dividends, and rental property. While active income naman, it includes hourly wages, salaries, and commissions. So, si real estate investors naman can generate both active and passive income depending on the investment strategy they used. So, next one is the non-resident persons not engaged in business in the Philippines. So, katulad na lamang nito yung non-resident aliens not engaged in trade or business or NRA and ETBS and non-resident foreign corporation or NRFCs which have high risk of non-compliance. Dahil nga wala silang mga fixed na offices at workplaces here in the Philippines, may mataas na tsansa na maging involved sila sa non-compliance dahil sa absence at maaaring kalayuan ng distansya nila sa Pilipinas. Dahil na rin sa territorial consideration, the Philippine government cannot impose the obligation to file return. So, pag sinabi nga nating non-resident aliens not engaged in trade or business, it is if the individual stays in the Philippines for an aggregate period of 180 days or less. While non-resident foreign corporation, this does not have any presence in the Philippines, but they derive income in the Philippines. For example, ay extending foreign loan, earning interest income. So, thus, the law subjects them to final income tax, wherein the Philippine residents paying them income, passive or active, are obligated to withhold the following final tax. So, for non-resident persons not engaged in business in the Philippines, the non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, they have the general final tax rate na 25%, while the non-resident foreign corporations have the general final tax rate na 30%. That's all for today. Thank you and God bless.